Hey, what's up guys? Huawei has come out with a new mid-range phone with a large screen and AI capabilities, but does it have what it takes to tackle the fierce competition? I'm Will for GSM Arena, and this is our Mate 20 Lite review. The Mate 20 Lite arrives a good month ahead of the proper Mate 20 flagship. It has a glass build, much like other recent Huawei phones. And just like on the P20 series, the back design is quite interesting, looking a bit like a metallic gradient when it catches the light. The sides of the Mate 20 Lite are rounded, with no taper. Some people prefer this sort of feel over a sharper edge. One thing I like is that the raised camera bumps are dead center instead of in the corner, so the phone is balanced and won't wobble much on the table. The downside is that they're directly above the fingerprint scanner, and close enough to accidentally touch. The reader is accurate, but I didn't feel like it's as fast as what I'm used to from Huawei. The Mate 20 Lite has 64 gigs of onboard storage, and it is expandable through a hybrid slot. Unlike the more expensive phones from Huawei, there is no IP-rated water resistance here. But there's also no need for a USB-C dongle, since the Mate 20 Lite has a headphone jack. Sound through headphones is nice and clear, but a little on the quiet side. And you do have Huawei Histon sound options to enhance your audio. If you're not using headphones, you'll be relying on the single bottom-firing speaker. It's quite loud, though not the loudest we've heard, and it is lacking a bit of bass.
So honey, now take me into your loving arms.
The display is a tall 6.3-inch IPS LCD with a 1080p resolution, and a notch cut out at the top. The notch accommodates a front-facing dual-camera setup, and like on other Huawei phones, you are able to hide the notch with a black bar if you don't want to see it. The screen itself looks pretty good. The contrast isn't half bad, with reasonably well-controlled blacks. It's not the brightest of LCDs, but it's okay, up to 460 nits at maximum. There is no brightness boost in auto mode though. Sunlight legibility is decent, but not the best we've seen from an LCD in this price range. You can choose from different color modes based on your preference. In its default display mode, the colors are a bit on the bluish side, but the combination of normal color mode and warm color temperature is the most accurate. You also get the option to set a custom color profile. The user interface of the Mate 20 Lite is the newest EMUI 8.2 over Android 8.1 Oreo, the same as on the recently released Honor Play. One of the new proprietary features is the AI-driven image sorting in the gallery. The AI can group photos by subject, people, certain objects, or shared scenarios. We mentioned in our hands-on video that the Mate 20 Lite allows you to multitask with 3 different apps at the same time, though it is a little different than you'd imagine. It's basically regular split-screen mode, but with a third window that acts as a floating video player. RQmoji is a new feature. It allows the dual front cameras to track your face, and projects your movements onto a digital avatar. It does seem a bit gimmicky, but if you're into this sort of thing, it's one of the better implementations out there. On top of that, there are plenty of augmented reality options to play around with, including animated backgrounds and 3D creatures. Of course, the dual cameras also enable face unlock, which is fast and accurate. There's a party mode which allows you to connect and play the same song across multiple phones for a fun time. And the game suite gives you a dedicated space for your games, and options for acceleration and blocking interruptions. The Mate 20 Lite runs on a new mid-range chipset from Huawei, the Kirin 710, along with either 4 or 6 gigs of RAM. It doesn't include a neural processing chip dedicated to AI-driven tasks, so although the software is infused with these, they have to rely on the main CPU instead. In benchmarks, the Kirin 710 does quite well, about on par with the Snapdragon 660 and the Nokia 7 Plus. We're not sure if it has Huawei's GPU turbo technology on board to optimize the use of resources, but in our tests, the frame rate in PUBG looked pretty stable. With a 3700 mAh battery life on the Mate 20 Lite is excellent. It scored an endurance rating of 97 hours in our proprietary tests. There's Huawei's quick charging, but it's not the fastest the company offers. We got from 0 to 31% charge in half an hour. The Mate 20 Lite's main camera is 20 megapixels with a bright f1.8 lens and phase detection autofocus. There's no OIS though, but there is a secondary 2 megapixel depth sensor. Like on other Huawei phones, the camera uses AI to boost photos. When toggled on, the algorithm will recognize scenes and adjust image settings accordingly. The result is usually pumped up contrast and heavily boosted colors. Here are a few examples with AI enabled. The saturation and contrast are dialed all the way up to 11. While we're fine with some extra pop, we do prefer a more restrained approach, but some people are into that over-the-top look. Normal daylight photos look good. They're detailed, but we did expect more sharpness out of a 20 megapixel camera. Dynamic range is alright, though you may lose some detail in higher contrast scenes. In low light, sharpness and detail are comparable between shots taken with AI on and off, and while not stunning, they're quite alright. But when it comes to colors, the AI shots are more pleasant than the non-AI, which are a bit washed out looking. For your artificially defocused backgrounds, there's both a portrait mode and an aperture mode. Aperture shots are capped at 8 megapixels. You can choose the simulated aperture in the range from f.95 to f16, and you can also change it in the gallery afterwards. In contrast, portraits are taken at full resolution. They're nice and detailed, and subject isolation is quite good, but on occasion we found the background blur didn't kick in, ending up with a regular shot instead. The dual selfie setup consists of a 24 megapixel f2.0 main cam with fixed focus, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. We were a bit disappointed with the results. Selfies aren't all that sharp, and there doesn't seem to be 24 megapixels worth of detail here. This extends to the selfie portrait mode too. The depth sensor might make separation more accurate, but sharpness and detail aren't too impressive. For video recording, the Mate 20 Lite records video only up to 1080p. There's no 4K, unlike many competitors. 1080 videos at 30 FPS are nice and detailed, though there are some noticeable jagged edges on objects, and there's a bit too much contrast. Colors are pretty nice though. There is EIS at 30 FPS too, which does a great job of smoothing out handshake and panning. 1080p videos at 60 FPS are disappointing though. They're really quite soft, similar to what we saw in the Honor Play. So the Mate 20 Lite. You get a shiny design with a large screen, good battery life, a decent camera, and a solid mid-range chipset. We can't help but compare it to the Honor Play though, which comes with a flagship Kara 970. Also, the selfie cam is a bit disappointing, so even selfie enthusiasts won't be impressed by this dual camera. And we're missing 4K video recording, which you pretty much expect for over 400 euros. Overall, it's a decent phone, but for this kind of price, there's plenty of strong competition with attractive features. So unless you find the Mate 20 Lite at a discount, it's sort of tough to recommend this one. Thanks for watching. Hit like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And don't forget, you can always stop by gsmarina.com for our full test findings. See ya!